The US Coast Guard says that a debris field has been discovered within the search area by an ROV near the Titanic. This is in relation, of course, to that Titan submersible. It went missing over the weekend. Ever since then, there's been this ticking clock. We believed, anyway, as we understood, that the oxygen supply was potentially running out, with 5 people on board, a couple of them British, a couple of them kind of adopted British as well, it must be said. Now, this is according to the US Coast Guard. It's just landed in front of us right now, which is that apparently debris has been discovered. And here to give us a bit more info is Paul Hawkins, our national reporter. Yeah, so, Paul, this is the big breaking line, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a potentially very significant line coming out. This debris field discovered within the search area by an ROV near the Titanic. Now, we know that the search area was quite big. They hadn't narrowed it down. Yeah. They potentially could have narrowed it down to as little as 100 metres, but it was still fairly large. But it does say that it is near the Titanic, and it's been picked up by one of the remote-operated vehicles, those, that have been brought in, dropped into the water. So experts within the Unified Command, they're looking at the information. And we've just learned that there will be a press briefing at 3 o'clock.
That's 3 o'clock time, isn't it?
It was their time, which I believe makes it 8 o'clock our time.
Okay.
I think that's 8 p.m. our time. So yeah, we'll be hearing from Rear Admiral John Morga, who I spoke about earlier. He's the 1st Coast Guard District Commander. Also Captain Jamie Frederick, the 1st Coast Guard District Response Coordinator. He's the man that's been giving the briefings every day this week. But yeah, a potentially huge development this afternoon, and that taking place at I think that's 8 p.m. Our time. It's 5 hours ahead.
Yes, indeed. I would imagine we will be bringing you that live if we can here on GB News. Just to fill you in again, yes. So when we first started the show, as we understood it, the clock was ticking in terms of the oxygen supply on this particular craft, this submersible that was believed to have been somewhere near the wreckage of the Titanic, with 5 people on board. That oxygen supply was supposedly have run out at around midday today. I believe we can actually go to Newfoundland now, I think, which is this. So this is the harbour, St John's Harbour. And this is where a lot of the search and rescue operations were kind of starting from, and will be kind of spilling out there, obviously, miles offshore towards the Titanic. And Paul, what they did, especially today, was they had more crafts in the water looking and searching, and it's believed that an ROV has now found some debris. So what does that really mean for people?
So ROV stands for Remotely Operated Vessel, and essentially it's these little sort of small machines that they drop into the water. 2 have been deployed to the water today. We don't know. One of them is the Victor 6000.
Yep.
That's the state-of-the-art French ROV, brought by the Latente, I think it is. That's been deployed to the water, state-of-the-art visual sensors, audio sensors, and crucially robotic arms, so that we were hoping, still are hoping, we don't know what this debris is, that it would be able to potentially hook something onto the Titan and help it to the surface, or at least free it from some kind of wreckage. The other ROV was deployed earlier from the Horizon, I think it was. So 2 ROVs in the water. We don't know which one has found this debris field, but yeah, that's the state of play at the moment. And of course, not just ROVs in the water, they've been sweeping the area with reconnaissance from the air as well, and dropping sonar buoys as well, which is how we heard those sound recordings, which earlier actually, from John Morga earlier, was saying that these sound recordings, we think, he was saying that the initial analysis was that they were most likely to be just background ocean noise.